Hello friends, it's dear old dad here with a little do-it-yourself fix-it for the Thrustmaster Boeing throttle set. I use this extensively for my Boeings and McDonnell Douglas and other things, in flight sim, anything but Airbus. And it works really well. It's very intuitive, as you all probably know if you use these. Problem I have is now my throttle, this one here, is doing fine, but this one here has lost its friction, and we're going to disassemble this and figure out what the fix is for this issue, because I'm sure if this one's doing it, I can already feel that this one's starting to get loose as well. You can see when you get to the end of travel there. So we're going to disassemble, get into the guts of this thing, and see what is actually going on. I did scour the internet. I went to the Thrustmaster website and I could not find anything that addresses this issue. So I don't know if it's just me or whatever, but I'm going to try and tackle this problem. So to disassemble this, we have a series of screws on the bottom here. You can see that they provide you with the screwdriver tip here with the unit, but I find it probably be easier just to use my own. I don't think we need to take any of these screws. There's 5 screws here. However, I know this knob is going to have to come off, and yeah, and we're going to have to take our handles off. I know for these you need to well, I guess we'll start with this one. There's a screw in here. And I think the most challenging part in the disassembly is not to lose these little screws. So that pops right off. And we'll do the same for this one. Now I really like using this. However, I have to say, in my own personal opinion, the amount of money that you spend on this component, its build quality is not the greatest. Again, my own opinion. So we have these screws on the bottom here. So there it is. I'm trying to keep these separated. It's really not going to help with the pattern in my countertop here, but so let's take this out. I bought this as part of the set, so I got the control column. Control column seems to be pretty solid build. That's why, surprisingly, this one here, the throttle quadrant, not so much. And I understand why they went one way with the column. So I'm guessing you're spending the bulk of your money for that control column. I bought it as a set. I know they can be bought individually. And I think that's all of it. Let's see, yep. So there she is. So here we go. This is the culprit here. This one here is okay, and this one here is tight. So it looks like we have a couple of these saddle style brackets holding. I don't see any type of like adjustment. And it's like without the weight of the knob, this actually does kind of stay in place, but either way it doesn't do me any good. So I'm going to take this off here and we'll see what happens. What do we reveal? Well, there's something, because this is, now it's just flopping around. So, aha! Look at this. What is this here? There's a piece of rubber that was totally out of place. It was underneath, And it looks to me like this actually goes, sure enough, this fits in here. And there's a chunk missing. So I think that's what our problem is. So as you're moving this back and forth, this works its way out of its groove. And this is what causes the friction, is just this piece of rubber. So this one's broken. So here is the dear old dad immediate fix is I'm going to, I doubt I'm going to be able to find a piece, be able to repurchase or whatever, get a replacement for this. I'll try, but what I'm going to do in the interim is I'm going to glue this thing into this channel. Why they didn't do that on the initial buildup, I don't know. But I think if you just glue that in place, she should stay put. And I'm thinking with this one being broken, I may take it out of the flap. I use this one for the flap handle. And, you know, flaps, I either go, it's rare, I don't know. You don't use the flap handle. I don't use the flap handle as much as obviously the throttles. So I think I'm going to swap the one out of here, put it into here, and glue it in place. And actually, while I'm doing that, I'm going to do that with all three of them. So let's just want to see, just to reiterate, this is what I'm on to here. Yeah, see, this one's doing the same thing. It's sitting, oh, and it's broken too, but the piece is here. There you go. And I bet you that is what the problem is. So, again, disappointment, this build. So see, that's supposed to be like that. All right, so I'm going to take this other one apart, I'm going to swap them, and I'm going to glue them back in, glue these into place, and we'll see what kind of longevity I get out of that. But there you have it. Again, you don't need to disassemble this top plate. See, it's all just cheapo plastic. But all right, so let's try the glue job and see what happens. All right, so I pulled this one loose, and actually it was just as broke as the other ones. So I probably caught it in time before it slipped out of place. So I glued this one in and reinstalled it. And my only fear is it seems like it's a little stiff now. Here's the other pieces that I glued. So we're gonna just reassemble and give it a test and see how, well, this one feels a bit better. And well, plug it in and see how it goes. But this, at least for me, it's my fix. Whether it's permanent or temporary, I don't know. I'm thinking the ultimate would be to replace those rubber parts, but I just don't think that's possible unless I have a way to find that they sell those separately. It's either that or come up with a replacement on my own. Yeah, this is, and I'm guessing maybe as you tighten these screws, if that will, I'm going to leave it as it is, but I would think you could probably leave those a little loose to adjust your tension, but you would think that rubber is going to wear out and it's going to come loose again at some point. So I'm just going to cinch them down and see how it works. But anyway, if you're experiencing this trouble, the loss of friction on your throttle controls or your flap handle or whatever with the Thrustmaster throttle quadrant, the Boeing Thrustmaster Boeing throttle quadrant, this is what I have discovered. So there you have it. Enjoy and happy landings.